Welcome back to the Cricket Today podcast on Friday, December 22. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. I'm here with Marcus Bazzano with his Renegades scarf. I think both the boys have their Renegades scarves on. How you going, Marcus?
Yep. Yeah, good, thanks. I see you've got yours in the background. So
we had a good last night.
Yeah, went to the game last night and had a great time.
Yeah, very nice. We've also got social guy, Leo Mullaly. How you going?
Good, thanks, Stats Guy. Yeah, it was a lot of fun last night. Unfortunately, the Gades didn't get up, but it's a pretty high standard game, I thought. So
Yeah, it really was. And the Heat are looking really good at 3-0, obviously, which we'll touch on. Summer is here. Another fun Big Bash game last night. We've got a really good few games across the weekend before the second test of Australia versus Pakistan on Boxing Day. So today we're going to wrap up the Renegades versus Heat game that we're at, which was a lot of fun. Hopefully you saw us with our big follow Cricket Today sign. That was a pretty funny little people below us at the ground were giving us a follow. That was really good fun and a bit of fun content that will come out from that across the next couple of days on the socials. So check out that. We're going to preview the huge BBL weekend, including an interesting there's been some bit of controversy in the Big Bash overnight as well, plus an interesting SuperCoach segment for the next 3 games and who we really think you should put in your team at the moment. So let's get right into it, lads. So BBL round 2 again was last night. Melbourne Renegades versus the Brisbane Heat. Could you give us the scores of that one, Leo, and then we'll break it down a little bit more?
The Renegades batted first, made 8 for 162 off 20. I thought it was a pretty good score, to be honest. Pitch was a little on the slower side, and at one stage it looked like they were going to make 140, so they did well to get to 160.
Yep.
But the Heat, after losing a couple of early wickets, just sort of, I guess, steadied the ship with Billings and Renshaw, and then Tall Paul finished it off, who I think we're going to mention.
Yeah, I think if we're going to talk about best performers, we're going to talk about Tall Paul. You want to talk him up with his stats, Marcus?
Oh yeah, finished with 3 for 27. It was pretty good in the field as well. Pretty sure it took a catch or two.
Yep.
And then with the bat, he just polished it off with a couple overs to spare. Made 30 off 15 and ended up with the man of the match trophy. And he loves a little aeroplane celebration when he takes a wicket.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was impressive.
Yeah, he was awesome. I didn't really know that much about him before the Big Bash, and he's had a great start. He, like Leo all night, was just telling the Renegades, come on, you got to bowl, pace off. Tall Paul, every second ball, he was bowling some slower balls, a few cutters, and he was just bowling into the wicket and slow. And that's what the spinners and Tall Paul got the job done. So I think, definitely should listen to Leo on that one. Jake Fraser McGurk, the Rooster, did really well as well. 55 off 23. We were praying for a catch. If he hit it onto the outside, we would have easily got a catch, but a lot of his sixes were just past us. 55 of 23. He was a really good SuperCoach inclusion, I think, as well. He's really cheap. Who else have we got? Majib, 2 for 27. He was the only one that really stood out for the bowlers for the Renegades. But as Leo mentioned, the Heat batters took over. After they lost, I think it was like 3 for, was it 40 or something like that? Might have been 3 for 30,
something like that, 40.
Yeah. They looked like they were struggling, and then Renshaw and Billings just put on a really solid partnership to finish it off. Leo as well. We were talking about this yesterday. John O'Well's hit the roof. What do you reckon about that? I think it ended up being called a dead ball. Was that the right call?
Yeah, probably. I don't think it was going to make 6, but I don't think umpires, as I said in yesterday's show, should be making that call. I think it just should be a dead ball.
Nah, fair enough. Away. I reckon just pay it a 6, just to get the fireworks going every time, even if it goes straight up. I think, as people were talking about in the office yesterday, if it goes straight up that high, it's a big shot anyway. Just get the whole boundary across the whole ground. I don't know if that's how it should work, but that'd be pretty funny. Tall Paul, we already talked about Tall Paul, but I just think he was unbelievable and probably one of the best overseas pickups at the moment. Is there anything else we want to touch on from that game, lads? Maybe that the Heat are actually going really well, Leo?
Yep, they're going good. Credit to them.
Yep.
I think I don't know why I didn't rate them. They look really complete with the ball. Yeah. They have 6 genuine options. With the bat, maybe a little susceptible still, but I mean, Billings and Renshaw step up when Munro doesn't. So pretty reliable in the end.
Yeah. And then the Renegades, I think we were talking about this last night, Marcus, of how, I don't know, they're just relying on probably Fraser, McGurk and Sutherland to do a lot of the work. And then you got Madison and Finch who look really out of touch with the bat. Yeah, what do you reckon about the Renegades? Just struggling a little bit. They've been close, but yeah, just struggling a little bit.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Stats Guy. I think after they lose a couple of early wickets, you got Finch and Madison coming in. They're typically, well, not Finch, not historically, but I think nowadays later in his career, the strike rate's getting slower and slower for both those players, and they're normally like that anyways. But once they lose a couple of wickets, they've got to steady the ship and try not lose a couple more. So it's a bit of a headache for the Renegades. But I think they've definitely got a lot of question marks over their batting in particular. But Jake Fraser-McGurk is a standout though for them in particular. He's really impressive, and you got to get him in your SuperCoach team if you haven't already. Only 90,000, I think, around that mark.
Yeah, that's awesome. Under 100K for a guy that's hitting 50s every few games, so that's awesome. All right, so we've touched on that Renegades Heat game, which was pretty good finish, and we had some good highlights. Good game to go to as well. So let's get into the Sixers versus Strikers. Leo's going to give us a bit of an insight, a bit of news on the Sixers, and then we're going to do a yeah-nah from that as well. I can't believe this, Leo. What happened with the one of the Sixers' better players?
So for those who don't know, Tom Curran is banned for 4 BBL games. So he was practicing his run-up before the Hurricanes game and was doing it on the pitch, which is a no-go. Can't get your spikes on the wicket before the game has started. The umpire informs him of that. And Tom Curran just basically ignores him, sees him as a hologram and tries to run through him and sidesteps him. And just for me personally, I think, well, the yeah-nah is Tom Curran an idiot? And for me personally, yes. It also shows a bit of arrogance, I think, from him. It's sort of like, who are you to tell me where to run? I'm Tom Curran. This is the Big Bash. I'm going to do what I need to do to prepare. When it's just like, hey, Tom, move 5 meters to your right or left, and you're good.
This is,
I think it's idiotic. What do you boys think?
I think Tom Curran, that's a big yeah from me. He's an absolute spud. What's with English players like Johnny Bairstow and him now? There's probably a few others. Just thinking, Stuart Broad in the past as well. Thinking all these cricket rules are not for them. I was talking about this on the way home from the cricket last night with Marcus. Everyone in local cricket, even juniors, know this. Before the game, you stay away from the pitch, especially if you've got spikes on. The umpire was clearly standing there. As you mentioned, he just tried to run straight through him. It was probably one of the weirdest things I've ever seen on the cricket pitch. So that was really, really weird. A massive that he's a spud. And I'm sick of all these English people ruining the game of cricket. What about you, Marcus?
Oh yeah, he's the biggest idiot in the Big Bash at the moment. Just flat out. I was similar to you. Once we saw the video, I was like, that is so bizarre.
It is.
I have no idea what he was thinking, especially as an international player.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to cost the Sixers, even though they're appealing it. And former Australia women's captain and head of the Sixers, Rachel Haynes, said this: Tom and the club maintain that Tom did not knowingly or intentionally intimidate a match official.
I get stuff.
If that's not intimidating, running directly, that's some like, you guys seen the movie Get Out, where the guy's running straight at him and then darts to the side.
Yeah.
That's Tom Curran.
That is a shocking call, yeah.
I have no idea what he was thinking, and they're going to appeal it, but I don't see them even getting a lesser sentence.
No, I agree with that one. I think, like you mentioned, international player, 4 games. They shortened the season to only 10 games. That's a huge chunk of these games, especially when I've mentioned before he's one of the best all-rounders in the business, in the world, I think. So that's really bad from Tom Curran, and I can't believe that. I'm just looking that up last night. It was just so weird. So let's actually get back into the game, lads. A bit more, get right into it. So Sixers versus Strikers. I think this is going to be a really good game as well. Sixers have won a couple of games. Strikers won their game, made over 200 the other night. Looked awesome with the bat through the Short twins, even though they're not related, but both the Short twins did really well. Let's give a prediction, Leo, for the Sixers versus Strikers game.
I think Sixers will win. I think, I know Curran will be out, but I think Hayden Kerr is back in the squad, which obviously won't replace Tom Curran's ability in full, but Hayden Kerr's a very reliable all-rounder. And I think the Sixers still have enough to just edge out the Strikers here.
Yep. No, fair enough. Marcus?
Yeah, I agree. I think this results purely off home ground advantage. I think if the Strikers were playing at home, I'd back them. But yeah, going to go the Sixers in this one.
I'm going to go against you, lads. I need to fix. This might cost my 100% streak on tipping at the moment. Bit of a head wobble there, but I think the batting depth of the strikers is really good. I know the Sixers have really strong bowlers. I think Tom Curran is a big out from that team as well with those bowlers. They need to improve on their bowling. They allowed 200 runs against the Thunder. I know it wasn't the easiest wicket to bowl on. If the strikers can improve their bowling a little bit in this one, I think they can make close to 200 almost every game. I think they can make that 170 plus, 180 plus every game, which is probably could be the best batting team in the competition. So I'm going to lean towards the strikers in this one, even though the Sixers are really strong at home. But I think it'll be really, really close, and then the strikers will just get over the line. Maybe even a super over. How about that? Why not? Maybe even a super over tonight. That'd be pretty cool. All right, we'll get into the next one, the Stars versus the Thunder. This could... Oh, I was going to say this could be a really good game, but I can't believe who you guys have tipped, actually. Oh, my God. All right. Leo, who have you tipped for this one, Stars versus Thunder?
I think you've given it away a bit there.
Sorry, yeah. I just got
you're
shocked.
Good. I think Stars. And this tip is mainly around Maxi playing. I think if he plays, he will see Daniel Sams bowl his left arm, whatever, and just hit that out of the ground. So if Maxi plays, I'm expecting a Stars win. He'll carry him to a few wins this year. That's what Maxi does. That's what he did for Australia. He'll do it for the Stars. So that's why I'm tipping him.
Fair enough. Marcus, you're the same?
I'm very similar to Lee, and I'm sort of just tipping on blind bias, as I say this, wearing a Renegades scarf. But I think they can just get the job done. And again, home ground advantage, even though it's in Albury. I just think this is a game where they can get over the line.
Yep. I don't know if you guys have watched the first two games, but the Stars are dead last. They got bowled out, what was it, for 111 and then 101. I know that the Thunder aren't as good as who do they play? The Heat, and who do they play in the second? The Scorchers. Obviously, I rate the Heat and the Scorchers a bit better than the Thunder. But the Thunder put on 200. The Stars have got absolutely nowhere near that. I think even if Maxi goes off, I don't trust any of their other batters, maybe other than Hilton Cartwright, who's in solid form. Harper and a few of the other guys that they've recruited back into their side are in really horrible form. And even if they're in for 10 balls, I don't think they're going to have a good enough strike rate. So I'm going to lean towards the Thunder. They've got Tanveer Sangha, your man Leo. He's been really good. Daniel Sams, I know he's my man. I've been talking him up. I really hope he has a big game here. Filthy, he didn't get picked up in the IPL. Thought he deserved a contract for that one. No, probably not. Probably not.
Well, you've already traded him out, Stats Guy.
I might have traded him out actually for my new man, Zaman Khan. The slinging action, I don't mind him. I can't trust the Stars. I can't believe you two have gone for the Stars, but maybe that'll bite me in the ass when I say that over the weekend. All right, so I'll go Thunder there, and then we'll go the last game over the weekend before the Boxing Day test is the Hurricanes versus the Renegades. I think this will be another really close game. Who are you tipping, Leo?
I'm tipping the Renegades here. I know both teams haven't won yet. But I think I've liked what I've seen more from the Renegades. The Renegades have been in their games, and I think while not being the better team compared to the Sixers and Heat, at different times had chances to win those games, I'd argue.
Yeah,
whereas the Hurricanes, I just have not been impressed by. If you're relying on Chris Jordan to make your runs and sort of, I guess, be the front line in your attack, he's a very good bowler, but I don't know about being the main guy in your attack.
Yep.
Then I think they're just going to struggle. So I like what I've seen more from the Renegades, and I think they'll just get the win. It won't be a very good game though.
No, okay. It might be a bit of a slog between two out of form teams. Marcus, who are you going?
Yeah, no, I agree with Leo there. I think the Renegades have definitely shown a little bit more, but because tipped them to finish last in the preseason predictions, I'm going to go the Hurricanes here. But you're right, the Hurricanes have really got question marks over the bat, and I don't think the spinners are doing enough with the ball just yet. So I think it'll be a big game for them. But I'm hoping that they can deliver because I'm backing the Hurricanes. What about you, Stats Guy?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I think their list overall is better. I'm not saying that I do agree with Leo, what you were saying about the Renegades have looked like the better side, but I'm going to lean towards the Hurricanes because I think a few of their guys, they've got to come out of their shell and really perform at some point. Like Tim David, I know he's out of form. I think there's going to be a game or two that he could go big, same as Ben McDermott. I haven't trusted them in my Supercoach and things like that, just because of their inconsistency. But I think this is the type of game, especially at home, which they're pretty solid at. I think they can go off. We've also got our man, podcast favorite, Nikhil Chowdhury. I think there's a few guys to come back into that team, but after his 40 performance, I think, and he was pretty solid with the ball, I think he should stay in the team, and he could be a bit of an X factor because a lot of people wouldn't have played against him. So I'm going to lean towards the Canes and barrack for a bit of Chowdhury, the Chowdhury show, as they're going to say in Hobart soon, I reckon. So I'll lean towards the Cane train there. All right, that's the three Big Bash games. The Big Bash games. So I don't know. I've changed the league name, apparently. Supercoach segment now, my favourite part. We're going to have our look at our must-have Supercoach players for the weekend leading up to Christmas. So those three games we talked about, we're going to have a few players from some of those games. We'll start with you, Leo, at the top. Who's your Supercoach must-have over the weekend?
I touched on him earlier, but it's Maxi for me, 130,000. If he's named to take on the Thunder, I just think you can't miss out on Glenn Maxwell on a double. I know he is sort of, I guess, coming back from an injury, but he's just class, isn't he? He's a superstar. He's probably at his absolute best. He's the best player in this competition.
Yep.
And if he's playing 2 games in a round for your Supercoach, you just have to have him in. So that's my pick.
Nice. Marcus?
I'm going to go, I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself and finish off round 2 here with the Sixers player. I'm going to go Josh Philippe, 113,800. Obviously underperformed last season, but he's got the quality and he showed it in round 1. Scored 100 points and he's the number 1 ranked Supercoach wicketkeeper so far. So,
okay.
Definitely for his price, I reckon you can still get a little bit of value for him there.
Yeah, nice. I really like Maxi, especially for that round 2 double over the weekend, then Philippi as well. I think he's starting to get his confidence back, and I reckon he's going to hit a big score soon. I'm going to go Sixers as well. I think with Tom Curran out, I think Ben Dwarshuis is going to be their man. He's already got 5 wickets in 2 games. I think he's got 122 wickets. He's up there in the leading wicket takers all time in the Big Bash. He's just been a really consistent performer. 197,800. I know that's pretty expensive. I think he's going to be their go-to guy, even at the death now without Tom Curran. He's built up a few change-up deliveries each year and even averages 18 with the bat. I know he probably won't even get a bat, but if he does, he can hold a stick and he's not horrible with the bat. So I think most games he'll get a couple of wickets. He got 90 Supercoach points last time he played the Strikers, including a 3-fer. So he's got the confidence up to get a few wickets against them. And he started this season really, really well. I think he was the 4th top scorer in the first round. So I really think Dwarshuis probably, not the most popular player in Supercoach because of that price tag, but I think he could be worth it. Just someone that you know what you're going to get from him, going to get a couple of wickets most games. So that's my one there. We got some, pretty good range there. I like that. All right, lads. So but you guys aren't actually in there for the Boxing Day test. We've got a special guest, Jim, I think, is going to come on the show for the Boxing Day test, the start of that. So I'll get a quick prediction for you, what's going to happen, maybe even a big call if you want, if you have anything on your mind for the Boxing Day test of Australia versus Pakistan coming up after Christmas. We'll start with you, Marcus. What do you reckon? Who's going to win, and maybe any big calls or things like that?
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think the Aussies should win again comfortably. Yep. But my big call here is Scott Boland will be man of the match if he plays. That's my big call.
Oh, get him in the side. Build him a statue. 2 statues again, I reckon. Yeah. I really, really want him to play. Surely he earned his spot just from dominating last year. That would be pretty cool if they just picked him for that. What about you, Leo?
I think Aussies will win, but okay, I'm going to go massive call here. I'm going to say the Aussies will be 5 for 50, and then Mitch Marsh will make a double ton, and Carey will make like 60.
Nothing.
No, Carey will bat with him, and then they'll make a partnership to get us up around 350, and we'll win from there. That's my prediction.
That is very specific. I'm going to go to the Aussies as well. I think it'll be really close the first 3.5 days. As we noticed at a lot of the recent games at the G, you sort of have a bit of a road at the start, and then it randomly has a bit of cracks, and then Scotty Boland, or if he's not playing, a bit of Hazelwood, I reckon, will get a few wickets. I reckon this is going to be a good test for the Hoff. So I'm going to go him man of the match. I don't know why, a bit of left field there. I love the bowlers. So I'm going to go him. And then a bit of lots of nice Gary chants if you go into the cricket, please. You guys are heading to a field of the day, so that'd be good fun. All right, so that's the Boxing Day test. That's another Huge show. That was a good fun. After the game we went to last night, we had plenty to talk about. So that's it for the Cricket Today show. We'll be back with this on Boxing Day. We'll have a special guest. It'll be good fun. We're going to go through some Boxing Day best moments as well, I think. So get right around the show. Subscribe on your podcast apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Like and review it, would ya? Chuck a follow to Cricket Today and Cricket Today AU all over the socials. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Send in any questions via the socials. Anything you want to chat to us about. Have a go. Oh my god, I can't even talk. Have a go at us in the comments. We like doing that, and these guys love responding to some comments and having a bit of banter in there, which is a bit of fun. So that's it, I think. Thank you, Leo.
Cheers, Stats Guy.
Thanks, Marcus.
Good work, Stats Guy.
Cheers. Thanks, John, for producing. Thanks to me, and that's another episode of Cricket Today done. We're out.